Well, I want to welcome all of you back to our channel today. We have a steering column to rebuild today. So I've already given it a couple of coats of black paint, and it's all apart right now. And what we're going to do is get the shaft back into the column, set up the gears. We want to get our throttle and spark control rods taken care of, and we want to go ahead and assemble the bottom bushing. I don't remember quite what we call it. I get that bottom bushing in, and then get the little pitman arm on there, and then it will be ready to go back in the car. So without further ado, we might as well just go ahead and get with the program. So here we go. So here's our tube, so to speak. You notice it's got the spark and throttle. Comes out the end. All these things come out of the end. Now this throttle, we're going to change up the throttle a bit when we put it back together. So this little piece over here, this little crank, won't be here when we're finished. And then we have our shaft. I don't know if you can see that I haven't painted it. The shaft is kind of blue or purple down here in this area. It's only because I sprayed some Permatex rust treatment on it. It'll help just keep it in decent shape. I didn't actually want to paint it. I don't think that Ford painted any of this. So what we're going to do, we got all of our pieces and parts. Here's the top piece. Steering wheel goes on top of here. And then we got our triple gears, or 3 gears there that go in on top of these posts. And we have all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning up the gears, and probably clean this up because it looks pretty bad. So we'll get that taken care of, and we'll start putting it all together with some nice heavy duty grease. Now here we go. Alright, our parts are ready to go back together here. So what we need to do, this is Henry's idea of a steering box. It's really just a planetary gear system. This is stationary. There's your sun gear on the inside that connects the steering wheel. Then you have 3 of these little gears that actually make the steering shaft move. And we need to put a bunch of grease in here. Make sure, oh, this is nice grease too. I want to pack it in here. Now you want to use a heavy grease in here. A couple of reasons. First of all, Henry said use a heavy grease. But second, if you want to keep it from leaking all over and down the steering column and such, why, then you'll want to use it. So then we got that end. Now we're going to get some grease down in this end. There's really not a bushing or anything in here, but the steering does kind of ride on it. Okay, let's put that down the shaft. Nice tight fit here. Okay. Might as well save that, put it in someplace where it's going to do some good, right? Okay. Alright, now we want to, again, pack more grease in. Make sure that shaft is all the way down, which it seems to be. Now the grease I'm using is Stay Lube heavy duty brake drum grease for those who have brake drums and bearing grease. Anyway, it's a part number SL3131. So that's what we have for the grease. Alright, let's put our gears in. There we go. Pack in some more grease. And you want to make sure that these gears have plenty of grease on them right off the bat, because probably most people wouldn't be taking them apart again. Okay, we'll get inside of here, put some more grease in it. I might go ahead and replace this top cap. It's pretty worn and it doesn't look real pretty. And okay, my camera ran out of steam. I had to change the battery pack. I went ahead and screwed the top on. You got to be careful, and you don't want to cross these threads, otherwise you'll be in a world of hurt. So, you know, just take it easy and they'll go back in. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little hole in the cap here. There's a corresponding slot in this gear housing, and I've tightened it up all the way, and now that's not going to line up with that slot. So what I can do with that is just back it up to here, and then we'll put a pin in that. Now I don't have a pin at the moment. I'll come up with one and then we'll put that in. But that's how it kind of locks the gear up on top and everything. And then your steering wheel goes on top of here. And there's the nut that goes on it. Doesn't look very pretty, so I bought a shiny new nut. So that's going to look a lot prettier. And I also have a part here for relocating the throttle from up high to down where it goes through the engine. So I'll be putting that on as well. And we have kind of the little separator that keeps everything lined up the way it should be on the lower part of the shaft. This is for our timing rod. This is the key that goes down in the pitman arm down at the bottom. And then this is our little grease cap, or grease fitting. Back in the good old days, they didn't use Zerk fittings like we have now, but they use these where you fill this up with grease, fill this up with grease, put that on there, and when you turn that down, it pushes grease into wherever it needs to go. Fancy schmancy, I know. Okay, so why don't I turn this? Yeah, I think I'll turn this around. We'll back up the camera a little bit, and we'll get these pieces put in. Alright, we spun it around. We're on the business end. Open up the package here. And we have to get this pin out. Alright, well this is pretty much even both ways. I don't want to mess up here, right? So this goes on here. For now, I will put that right there. Make sure my pin stays put. Okay, then we put this on. And that isn't locked in anywhere, it just kind of rides, finds its place and rides on it there. Okay, next, put some more grease on this shaft. I know, it probably looks like it's got plenty, but hey, far be it from me, alright? Alright, so once we get that on there, you want to put this on upside down. Alright, I'm going to have to do a little work on the bushing inside of here. It is a new bushing, and we'll need to make it pretty. Okay, so I'll have to get out the reamer and we'll do a little work on that to get it to fit where it's supposed to. So stay tuned. I'll get that done and I'll be right back. In fact, let me find the reamer and I'll show you what I got. Alright, these are adjustable reamers and make it real easy. And I think, there we go. I hope that's the one. So we just adjust these things and get in there with them. Now I'm going to have to clean this bushing out. You know, it's the same bushing, I just drove it in a little deeper and seems to have changed its attitude a bit. It's alright. We'll give it an attitude adjustment. Oh yeah, that good grease. Yeah, it doesn't want to come out of there. And I did give you bad information. This timing rod actually goes through this hole right here and comes out here. So your little bottom support actually goes like that. Okay, we can just run this reamer in through that bushing. Let's shine it up a bit. I don't know if we got through it or not, we'll find out. Nope. Okay, we'll put this in the vise. Okay, so I have run the reamer through it, just had a little spot at the end of it when I drove it in, and it cleaned it out with the reamer real nice. So now we'll do the grease thing again. And we want to grease up both of these shafts here, these rods. Otherwise they'll never see any more grease. Okay. There we go. Now you want to make sure that it's the right side up. The forward script is up. The place where the grease fitting screws in is up. The top of the steering column levers up. So this is all top side. And so this is how it's supposed to fit in here. So we got everything we want in the right spot. Of course, we don't know where the steering is yet, and it doesn't really matter a great deal at the moment. Or rag. Okay, we need to clean that out before I put the pin in there. You get your spark rod on here. And it faces up. Anyway, we drive the pin for that in there, and okay, put that down. Takes a 7/16 wrench to tighten that up. Okay. Pile that full of grease. You can just feel the grease go in. And we fill the cap. Want to make sure when you fill it up that you get the air out of it. Okay, we're almost there. A little more in here. We have the key for our pitman arm. You know what? Get the steering wheel. Put that pretty shiny new nut on there. Boy, that's pretty. I'm gonna have to get a proper wrench for that baby. Well, the old nut is a lot different than the new one. So I guess we'll find out if it's any good. Alright, we'll snug that down. And get that in there. Here we go. So that's pretty much it. We'll get the nut tightened down, get a cotter pin through it, get this part pinned, get this little hole in this rod cleaned out so I can drive the pin in that, and we have a rebuilt steering column. So that wasn't too hard. So I hope you'll join us as we continue on this old Model T. We've done some repair on the frame and the front spring. In fact, we put in a new front spring, perches, shackles, and so on. So keep with us, and we'll show you lots more things on this Model T. So I appreciate every one of you staying in here and watching our videos, and we hope you enjoy them.